Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
What's up, guys? How you doing? So today we're gonna just do a video about my Zetas. So like, I know other people and other YouTubers do these type of videos, and you know, whether or not they like their Zetas, whether or not they hate them, you know, stuff like that. So today we're gonna do something similar to that. We're gonna go over my Zetas and which ones I love, which ones I think they're okay, and which ones I just think are garbage, like straight up garbage. So let's just start off by, you know, chatting about some of the Zetas. All right, so we're gonna just start off here by looking just at the top row and just work our way down. So these are my favorites. These are ones I'm working on right now, or just ones I just like in general. So here we go. So first one is Padme. I got both of hers. We got a leader and we got a unique. So leadership is pretty dang good. I use it all the time in my slow Padme climbs. And this one as well. This one's great outside of the slow Padme team. It's actually quite good in non-Mala counters, and I highly recommend the Zeta. Both these Zetas are solid. Like, I'd say A+ Zetas to have. They just synergize so well with the GR faction. So that's her, and then I got a double Zeta on the GBA. The only one I think is really important is the Queen's Will one, the one that gives extra brute at the start of the battle. Like a Preton, that's really, really important, but when it comes to leadership, this one is not that great. I just kind of just threw it on this dude because I thought it was going to be an okay one for, you know, TBs, and it is. Don't get me wrong, it is. But outside of that, I don't find it to be super, super useful. I think it's not a garbage Zeta. I just think it's kind of mediocre. So this one is kind of one of those mediocre ones that I do have. But all in all, I mean, this is a great character, so I don't mind, you know, throwing on all the stuff on him, you know, all the Zetas. So, and that's kind of him. So we'll move on to GK. GK Zeta is Sorisu. Great Zeta. At the start, when he was getting his first rework, I was like kind of hesitant on this Zeta. I wasn't sure if it was a good one or not. But just, you know, how useful it is in my Padme team, it is just so nice. It was definitely, when just looking over it the first time, it was like a really mediocre Zeta, but now that I use it on my daily, you know, climb, this is a top tier Zeta in my opinion, especially in the GR faction, because guess what? It has to be in all GR faction. That's how a Zeta works, which is kind of weird for a Zeta, but if you think about using this in a Padme team, guys, it is disgustingly good. So great Zeta here. I think this is top tier Zeta. And then next up here is JKA. This Zeta, again, these are some Zetas that are just really good in the slow Padme team. But this one, all he gets is just, if Padme is an ally, she takes a bonus turn as well whenever Anakin gets one of his bonus turns. So they both gain the bonus turn at the same time. Outside of Malak counters, this is probably not as great as you might think it is. But in the Malak counter, this Zeta is disgusting. I love the Zeta. Really great Zeta, and just making sure that Padme gets a bonus turn along with Anakin just grants some even more, you know, possible stacks of courage from the cleanse, another kick, or just, you know, use a basic, get some more protection up. It's just a great Zeta all around. So I highly recommend this Zeta as well. So next up here, Ahsoka. I think this is going to about wrap up the Padme team with the Zeta, and this one is very similar to that of GK's, where you need to have a GR leader, and whenever another GR ally uses special, she's called in to assist. And if you didn't know, she does dispel buffs on her basic, and it can't be evaded, so just pairing that up is just really great. This Zeta is really, really good as well in the GR team, GR faction. Just everything about GRs is great. This is top tier Zeta in my opinion. So there you go, have that. And then up here, Nest. I think Nest is a great one as well. If you do kind of want to solo some stuff a little bit easier, Nest is the way to go, guys. Pretty sure this is the unique. Yep, this is it. She ignores taunts. She gains health steal, she gains taunt and she gains health steal whenever an enemy loses a buff or a debuff. So that's really nice. Just more health steal, making sure that she doesn't die too much. And, you know, die early on in these is really, really important. And the extra taunt ignore is just amazing. This is top tier Zeta in my opinion, and can be used in a lot of different various teams and lineups. So next up is Daka. This is a recent one I just got. I'm working on her Gear 13 as of right now. And it says pretty much when when another ally is revived while Uldaka is active, she gains 10% max health stacking until the end of the encounter. This is great in raids. This is great in excuse me. This is great in just other Night Sister teams. Once you get this chick Gear 13, this is going to be a really good Zeta. It already is a pretty good Zeta, but it'll make it even more useful at Gear 13 level. So this is a great Zeta in my opinion. It's pretty specific in what it needs to be in. But a lot of these Zetas are. There's not just Zetas where it's just great all around. These are really specific Zetas needed in specific teams. So I think Doc is a great Zeta in my opinion. Okay, Qui-Gon. My guy Qui-Gon, he has been through a lot of pain and suffering over the last 2 years, maybe even 3 years. But the Zeta on his lead, guys, it's pretty bad. It really is. This day and age in the game, it's pretty bad. When it was first out, it was a god tier Zeta. I will say that. That's why it's my account. That's why I love Qui-Gon so much. This is a great lead back in the day. You get pretty much little to no use out of it. Maybe in like a GA, you want to put him on defense. Maybe you want to put him on offense. Try to get some easy banners in like a lower tier team, maybe. But even then, it's just not that great. And then all you get really is some speed, and then they gain offense equal to 3 times their speed, which isn't bad, you know, it's pretty good, it's pretty dang good, but it's not amazing. But I think if they reworked this and reworked his kit, it could be a really good Zeta, but as of for now, it's just not that great. This is a quite bad Zeta in my opinion right now. Okay, next up, here we go. So B2, this is one I have. This one I mainly only got and put it on him for the Grievous event, or for the Padme event the first time around. Pretty much all you get from this is whenever he inflicts a debuff, all Separatist droids gained 5% TM, which is pretty good. It's not like gods here, it's not like an amazing Zeta, but it's very specific like I was mentioning earlier. It's quite good in a Grievous team, very good in other Separatist teams, so I think it's worth the Zeta if you do have an extra Zeta to give, but I don't think it's like a do or die Zeta, like you got to have it to make the team work. I think it's quite good, but it's not like super necessary. So that's kind of how I feel about that one. And then for B1, this one's quite necessary actually. Pretty much all you get is more stacks of Droid Battalion, and what you get with Droid Battalion is you gain more offense, you gain more tenacity and crit avoidance, which is really essential for these guys. For the Separatist allies, especially, you know, Magna Guard and B with 2. Early on in the battle, you want to make sure that they're alive pretty frequently and a lot more often. So this is quite important of a Zeta to have, and it makes it a lot tougher to burn through him as well. So quite important of a Zeta. I do like this. This is a top tier Zeta in my opinion. Okay, next up, here we go. We're going to go for, kind of skim through everything. Darth Revan. Darth Revan has 3 Zetas. I put them all on him. You've got a lead, a unique, and another unique. He's got 2 uniques and a lead, guys. I don't want to go too much into it, but these Zetas are quite essential for the character. Same with Jedi Revan. So we'll just knock off the dark and the light side versions of Revan all in one go. They are very, very essential Zetas. It's either a do or die situation where you have them all and you're going to be good, or you're missing some and it's just not going to work out as well. So they're all good Zetas, and you need all of them to make it really work very, very well. So good stuff here. Let's move on. All right, so for Bosk here, we got 2 Zetas, one on the lead, one on the unique. The unique one, with how I'm running it right now with my Django lead, it's quite good. It's really good actually. I don't really use his lead too much on defense, but in some situations, you know, it's not that bad. In GAs and TWs, I'm probably not going to go back to the Bosk lead. I'm going to just use the Django lead now for the extra speed. But hey, it's not a bad Zeta to start off, but the unique is definitely a good Zeta, I think, in Bosk lead teams. I think it's really good in Django teams, so pretty good Zetas here. Alright, so Grievous, he has 2 Zetas. He's got one on lead and unique. The unique is really good. The unique is a strong Zeta. Whenever a Separatist droid dies, or a Separatist or a droid ally dies, he gains 100% TM, and he gets to go, and his cooldowns are reset, so he gets to do all of his crazy damage. So this is a great Zeta to have. Top tier Zeta in my opinion. You guys got to look into that one. And then this one is very essential as well to the Separatist team, so you guys got to check this one out as well. Alright, so I'm going to start, going a little bit faster on these Zetas. Some of these Zetas are just really, ones that I've just had over the years, and they're not bad, they're not awesome Zetas, but they're Zetas that I have, and they're quite useful in my GAs, and you kind of need them. So this for the JTR, I just don't have the unique. Not a nice unique in my opinion. Everything else is quite good. Very situational with this unique here. Everything else is pretty dang good here. More damage there. So good Zetas on JTR. CLS, I don't have his one unique here. Learn Control, not a bad one, but it's not super necessary. The binaural things and the leadership, in my opinion, are quite necessary. And then Yoda's too, they're both necessary. Actually, I take that back. His lead is not necessary, but this one is necessary. The lead is kind of garbage. I don't know why I got his lead, guys. I don't know what I was thinking back in the day. That's just a bad Zeta. Okay, so let's keep it going here. Thrawn, 2 Zetas. Leadership, not necessary, but unique is very, very good. And then Chewie, both Zetas, in my opinion, are necessary. Same with Traya, same with Crew. BB-8, I think they're quite necessary, both of them, to have. Asajj, both needed, I think. EP, I think they're both needed. I think unique, pretty dang good. You gain more protection, especially if you're running this with Thrawn. You're getting a lot more protection, a lot more survivability. R2, both needed quite, immensely. Mother Talzin's a little bit different here. So she got a lead and a unique. The leadership here for the Zeta is really good in raids. Outside of raids, it's still pretty good, but in GAs on defense, I like to run them under Asajj lead instead of her, so kind of makes the leadership Zeta kind of useless. But her unique's pretty dang good. She gains TM whenever any unit falls below half health. Partnering that with Asajj's lead, that's just a lot of TM gain for her, so I really like this one. I don't think it's like 100% necessary, but it's really good in really tight situations, I guess you could say. Great Zeta here. 3PO, wait for me Zeta is absolute garbage. Do not Zeta that one. But hey, this one here, oh my goodness. This is, I think, a really good Zeta. Top tier Zeta, actually. More Confuses is just really nuts, in my opinion. Good in raids, good in pretty much any other team, that you can utilize this guy in. Really great Zetas here. Okay, so Bastila has a leadership Zeta. Really good Zeta. This is one I like to use versus Grievous teams in GA. You guys should really check this one out. I think this is a great one to have. Gives you a little bit more, diversity in your teams and your variations of comps you want to run. So check this one out for sure. This is a great Zeta. Alright, so next up here we got Boba Fett. Boba Fett Zeta, it's not top tier, unfortunately. Whenever he does kill somebody with a finishing blow, he gains back the bounty hunter resolve, and he gains 100% protection. But the 100% protection isn't super necessary if you're running him in like a boss lead, because he's gonna gain protection back anyways. So it's not super necessary, but in some situations it is pretty necessary, and it is really annoying to have to fight a Zeta Boba Fett in some cases. So I think this is just a mediocre Zeta at least. Okay, so for Bastila Shan Fallen, she has a Zeta here on her, Sith Apprentice. She gives out 50% potency for her and the leadership, and they gain foresight for 1 turn to start the battle. So this is a pretty good one. I don't think it's super necessary in some teams, but it's really tough to have to deal with in some situations. I think this is kind of a situational Zeta. Maybe you don't need this one, but hey, I got it. I think it's still a good Zeta in my opinion. The extra potency, if you were to run this in other teams like an EP team, this is a great one. I think this is a pretty good Zeta all around, so let's move on. Alright, so Sion has one on his Lord of Pain. Pretty much what it has here is at the end of each turn, Sion inflicts pain for 3 turns on enemies who hit him during that turn. And this Zeta right here, partnering that with Traya Zetas, this is kind of why you're able to 2v5 the bugs. This Zeta is really, really important, and I highly recommend this Zeta. This is a great Zeta, guys. Sion is, he's been in the game for quite a while, but man, this is one of the funnest characters to not only, play with, but I enjoy, utilizing this guy in different comps outside of Traya. This guy is really fun to use. The Held by Hatred mechanic is amazing. You guys got to get the Zeta if you don't have it already. Okay, so Nihilus has 2 Zetas on him. One on lead, one on the unique. Do not bother with the lead. The leadership Zeta is utter and complete trash. Do not work on it, guys. The unique, however, is pretty dang good, I think. At the start of each encounter, or at the start of each enemy turn, Nihilus inflicts health down on them for 2 turns. So on top of his unique already, they're going to give, or he's going to give out damage over time, and then on top of that, he's going to give out health down. So a lot of chances for some debuffs, and with his Drain Force, there's going to be a lot more cooldown increases. So this is a great Zeta to partner with him, and I think it's quite essential for Darth Nihilus, to be honest with you guys. I think this is a great Zeta all around. So let's move on. So next up here, we got Han Solo. Shoot first, guys. 10% crit chance, and at the first time each turn, Han uses his basic attack, he attacks again, dealing 50% less damage. So this is really good, guys. Amazing. I just can't say enough about Han. It's either you have Han Solo Zeta and you're going to be doing some great stuff, or you're not and you're going to be sucking, because without the Zeta, Han Solo is pretty dang bad, I gotta say. So yeah, it's just a really good Zeta. You guys gotta have the Zeta. Okay, next up here is Jolie's it's this one, his revive. I forgot about this one. This is the one where it revives everybody at 80% HP with crit immunity for fact turns. This Zeta is busted, guys. This is why the JKR team was a thing. So yeah, this Zeta, you guys gotta have this Zeta. This is a great Zeta for the Jedi team. Not much to be said about this one. It's just really good. You got a whole revive. You get, you know, a lot of HP, crit immunity, just really good. So moving on. Wampa has 2 Zetas. He's got one on the foe and he's got one on the cornered beast. Don't worry too much about the foe. Go straight for the beast one. You get more counter chance, health steal, and offense for each dot on the board. Great little, you know, variation with a Karth team. If you want to run him under Karth, you guys got to look into that one. Great Zeta all around, I think. I'm quite happy with this one as well. So next up here we got Hoda. Hoda has 2. He's got one on his Do or Do Not. He's got one on the second special, where he gives them all the extra protection up and the more HP. And the Zeta gives him a -1 cooldown, which is actually quite nice. And all allies gain 20% protection, and Jedi allies gain foresight. So this is, in my opinion, a lot better than his other Zeta. The extra protection and the cooldown and the foresight is great with trying to get max banners in GAs. I think this is a must-have, in my opinion, for the character. Great one to have, and I highly recommend this one. Okay, so Darth Vader has 2. He's got one on his lead and one on his unique. This one is a bad leadership in this day and age of the game, just kind of like Qui-Gon's. Not very good anymore. But this one, hey, it might be pretty good. The unique here, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's just not very good. Both these Zetas are quite mediocre, in my opinion, and I still think that Darth he should be getting more, you know, tune-ups in the future. I think he's a fun character and he's an iconic character as well. So not good Zetas on Darth Vader. But we can come over to OG Kylo. His Zeta is on his Outrage ability. All it gives is more damage, and he recovers protection equal to the damage dealt. So this is a great Zeta, I think, for the FO team. Especially really tough if the FO team is modded well. Having to deal with all of his extra protection up is very, very annoying. But outside of that, it's quite useless. So a lot of these Zetas, like I've been saying, they're pretty specific in which teams they need to be in. But for the time being, I think this is a great Zeta. I think with more First Order added, it's going to be quite bad. With the new ones added and new Zetas possibly, it's just not going to be an outdated Zeta, just like the others that we were talking about. So let's move on. Okay, so next one up here is Ezra. Ezra Zeta. I do not regret this Zeta at all. This Zeta is amazing, guys. The flourish with extra damage and more TM gain is quite awesome. You can see me hitting like 100k crits in like some teams, man. It's just nuts. I love Ezra's character. I love his kit. It's very simple, straight to the point, and he deals a bunch of damage. And what else do you like want to see from this guy? I love this guy to pieces. He's one of my favorite Jedi in the game as of right now, and it's got a fun Zeta as well. So go check it out. Alright, so this one is for Zalbar. This is called Mission's Guardian, and it's pretty much whenever it's the start of each of his turns, Zalbar and Mission gain 10% protection for each dot on the enemy. So this one's pretty good. I like this one a lot. I don't think it's super necessary, but in some situations I think this is great. Really annoying to deal with in a Karth lead team. With, you know, Mission and Zalbar, it's just really tough to beat some of those. They're quite easy if you know what you're doing, but if you don't and you just kind of get sidetracked a little bit, they're going to be kind of tough to come back and win. So great Zeta, I think. Let's move on. Next one here is Karth. Karth has one on his lead. Pretty much what it says is whenever an enemy is inflicted with a dot, they gain, or all Old Republic allies gain, 3% HP and protection back. Great Zeta, I think. This is quite necessary for the Karth team, and that's why the Karth team is so nice to have. So pretty good Zeta here. Let's move on. Alright, so this is the one for mission. Once per turn mission assists when Zaalbar uses an ability. So this one's pretty good. Giving Zaalbar and mission more turns is really good, and imparting that with Karth's lead more assists, it's just really good. A lot of dots, a lot of chances for the debuffs, more protection, HP gain. It's a great Zeta. You guys got to invest in this one. It's great. Having this one with other Zaalbar Zeta is just really good to come by. So definitely looking at those ones. All right, so next up here we got Barisafi. Barisafi Zeta is on her unique, and this is an old Zeta. Pretty much it's pretty simple. All it says is whenever an ally is critically hit, they recover 20% of their max HP. So it's not a bad one. I just think it's super outdated. With the GK and the Bears combo, was kind of annoying back in the day, but nowadays you never really see her on either defense or offense. You know, it's just really hard to fit her in nowadays. So finding a good spot for her is really good. I don't like the Zeta anymore. I think this is a really, bad Zeta nowadays. But yeah, at the time of putting the Zeta on her, I thought it was a good one. So, take it as is, guys. It's a pretty bad Zeta now, though. Let's move on. All right, so for my first order team, I got pretty much all the Zetas on the guys. So this one on FOST, it's actually quite a lengthy one here. Pretty much it says whenever he uses an ability, he has a % chance to call in another random ally to assist, dealing less damage unless they're first order. Then, if it was a first order, grant them advantage. So, pretty cool stuff here. More assists, more attacks out of turn. It's pretty good stuff here. The advantage is really nice as well, especially when you're trying to run Executioner with him, because he's going to gain the advantage. He's going to crit, gain more TM. Great Zeta. I think this is a good one at least. Super not necessary though. I think it's just more specific in what you want to run here. But it's pretty good all around, I think. Guys, if there was like one Zeta that I regret the most, it's this one. So I was mentioning about how I got a lot of the first order team Zeta'd out. This one, outside of maybe his ship, this one's pretty bad, like almost useless. I never have use for this one. The Zeta is on his unique. It says here he gains 15% crit chance, 10% crit damage, and he has a 70% chance to gain foresight for 2 turns whenever he loses advantage. So I don't know how I feel about this one. I just don't like it. I don't really use it at all. There's just the good and the best first order team is not with this guy in it. So that leaves me to just use him pretty much nowhere. I could throw him in a really crappy team, but the synergy is not going to be there. He does do some good damage, but I just can't, I can't find a home for this guy. I mean, it's just not a good Zeta right now. It's similar to Barris's. I just can't find a good spot for it, guys. So right now, this is a pretty bad Zeta. I wish I didn't put it on him. So let's move on. All right, so this is for Veers. This is on his unique. All it says here is they recover, so let's read it also. It says when an enemy is defeated while Veers is active, the trooper allies gain offense up for 2 turns. They gain 50% TM, they recover 10% protection. So that's pretty nice. The TM gain is quite useful. And the offense is really good as well. So, I mean, this is a great Zeta to come by, guys. I highly recommend the Zeta if you want to run troopers. I do need to work on my troopers for the future. I need to work on range, and then we'll be good to go there. But this is a great Zeta, very necessary for that team as well. All right, so we're getting about to the end of this all, and Chief Chirpa Zeta leadership. This is a good one for the Ewoks. You got to have it for the Ewoks. Whenever an Ewok ally uses this basic ability, or whenever they use a special ability rather, they have a 60% chance to call another random Ewok ally to assist. I think this is a great Zeta for the Ewoks. I hope we get more Ewoks in the future. This would be a great one to add to the whole Ewok faction and add to the team in particular. I would love to see more Ewoks. Just really fun whole faction to use. This can beat up on not god tier modded first order, but a pretty decent first order you can beat with some Ewoks. Pretty Zeta here, and I think it fits very, very well into the faction. So definitely want to work on the Zeta if you do want to beat 3BO event, or if you want to run Ewoks in your your GAs and TWs. So keep that in mind. So guys, I think that's about it for the video today. Just talking about my Zetas, you know, over the last 3 years I've put on my guys, which ones I feel like are really good, which ones I feel like are pretty bad, which ones are just, you know, really mediocre. There's really a bunch of mediocre ones that I thought were good at the time, but over time they just kind of diminished in, you know, how valuable they were. You know, the ones that were really good back in the day that are now bad, you know, for example, Qui-Gons, Vaders, Barris's, you know, stuff like that. I think they were great when I was purchasing them, but now when I look back, they're just really bad ones to have. But for the future ones, guys, which ones I would like to have, I would love to have Newt Gunray's Zeta. I would love to have Shock T's unique Zeta, and I would love to work on the nuke team for the Grievous, and that needs T3 Zetas. You guys might find me weird for saying this, but I don't really have a desire to work on Malak at all. I'll for sure get him Gear 11, but I mean, I'm not worried about, you know, getting him Gear 11 like right about now. I would like to just slowly work on him, and while I'm, you know, slowly working on him, I need to, you know, hoard more gear for the new GR coming in, you know, the reworks, maybe possible new characters. And hoarding for that, for the Zetas, I think is going to be really important. So, you know, Malak is a fun character and all, but there's just so much new content going to be added into the game soon, guys, that I just find that needs to be just hoarded up for the time being. But even with that being said, I just don't like Malak as a character. He just totally ruined this game for me. I still love playing the game, and I love the Padme stuff, but Malak in general, I just really hate the guy. I just find him to be one of the worst characters to be added in the game. But that's just for a whole different topic, guys. For the video today, the Zetas I have, which ones I find to be good, which ones I find to be bad, that's it, guys. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully, you know, you want to share it around. Hopefully you want to sub the channel. Give it a like if you do like it. Give it a sub if you guys like this type of content. We'll keep doing some videos, you know, every day. So this will be when I'm out of town. So hopefully hopefully you guys like this one. And this will also be, you know, in the past. This is going to be a week. This video will be posted a week after I have it recorded and edited and all that stuff. So I'll be out of town when this video goes live. But hopefully you guys liked it. There's a Discord and Patreon. Go check them out. And I think that's about it for now, guys. I'll see you guys later.